Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, we were still setting up. We were still setting up everything, guys. Um, if I, oh, I cannot change anything here. Wait, so if I make this small now, what happens with the stream? Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay. Yeah, we were still setting up. We were still setting up. Okay, I have to mute my thing here real quick. I kind of need, where is that thing here? Nah. I was looking for. Do we even need the guys? Do we need the Excel sheet for the one topic? And you both are muted.
Excel sheet. What Excel sheet?
The one I shared about the revenue for the one topic.
Oh, if you have the sheet, that would be great. Yeah,
Then
that would be great for later on.
Then I need a second, guys, before we start here. Let me.
I think there's about a 15 seconds delay between our actual chat and the stream itself, if that is normal.
Yeah, that's YouTube normal. There's like 15 to
Okay.
30 seconds. So let me.
Okay.
Yep.
I shared the thing with you guys, didn't I? I 100% shared it
You
with
shared it
you.
with me, I think.
I shared it with both of you.
Really?
Yeah, 100% I shared it with both of you.
You shared the image with us.
Yeah, I just saw it actually.
Oh, there, I found it. I found it.
Yes.
Open in browser. Guess and. Okay. I think I figured everything out. And I can now make this full screen now. Dude, like YouTube setup takes way too much time. Seriously.
Yeah. It has to be done way in advance.
Dude, like you have to start the stream. Now I understand like streamers who start their stream and then 30 minutes later the stream actually starts because they have to do a lot of stuff before.
Yeah.
And if I want to check our topics, I actually have to look through my phone. So I don't change the camera settings and everything. By the way, did you put music the last time in the background?
No.
No music?
Did I? I think I did. I think I did, maybe. I'm not sure.
Should we? Should we not?
Yeah. Anything, man.
Anything. What kind of music do we want to
So
put
it's
it?
like less dry. I mean, like if you like your persona, that's
Oh,
I
yeah. Yes, yes. Good call. Good call. Persona 5
Yeah.
Royal OST. OST mix or something? Maybe there's a mix? Best of Persona 5 Royal OST remaster. Perfect, right? 1.5
I
hours.
think so.
Okay. I am ready. I think I set up everything. Everything should be fine. Music is now in the background. We have the chat on the right side. everybody's on the screen except for Kovian because, guys, for people watching, I will repeat it now. I will say it once now. I will say it at the end again. Subscribe to Kovian because as soon as he hits his 2K subscribers, he will do a face reveal.
That is
Hi.
right. Again, I'm hoping that the next podcast I'll have my camera on.
Imagine you are at like 1999 subs and then you have to like not use a face cam when the podcast is happening on your channel. Like, no,
Oh
guys,
no,
I'm missing one
imagine.
sub. I'm missing one sub. Okay, guys, I think we can start, right? And I will also let you guys start because that was a question or a topic you wanted to discuss today, and I personally don't really have much of an opinion when it comes to this content. And we start with expectations of celestial anomalies starting in 8 days or 9 days.
Celestial anomaly. I guess I'll start since I brought it up. Okay, so my expectations for celestial anomaly is we do not know what's gonna happen, right? But we kind of have an idea. It's gonna be linked to the Holy Stone Tyrant. It's probably gonna be very similar, but they did bring up the expectation for us that there's gonna be many different kinds of bosses. So I'm not sure how the rotation is gonna be. I think it's possible that the rotation would be maybe on a patchly basis, right? So every 3 weeks, maybe a new boss will appear or something. I'm not super sure. I'm not sure how they're going to handle it, but from what we understand, the Holy Stone Tyrant is just the precursor to everything. So my assumption is there's going to be a lot of mechanics that will require certain espers that you probably will never ever use. So the new esper that's coming in, like, how many days is that? 8 days? 9 days? I assume that esper is also going to be very important for whatever the Holy Stone Tyrant is gonna... I mean, the new Celestial Anomaly is gonna be about. So I'm really not sure what it could look like, but based on how Forbota turned out to be and how the first phase of Counter Sonica looks like, I think they're gonna make use of like certain espers that people just don't care about, maybe like poisons, for example. That could be something that might be important. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Do you think poisons would have a comeback and Ife will be relevant?
Oh no, I think I'll just spring from what you said. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like that because rather than making the espers themselves good everywhere, they're obsessed with making content for the existing espers. And I think that's been the trend ever since launch. We saw when Holo Battle came, they gave a bunch of espers Holo Battle captain leads. So in addition to making stuff like poison relevant, I'm fully expecting either maybe the existing PvE add the in anomaly captain lead, or you get someone like a Tevo who gets an anomaly specific captain lead, right? Or someone like an Ife. Actually, I think Ife already has one, but I think we can expect something like that. And we can expect to use espers we normally don't use. I think that's true. And at the top of the list is the poison espers, right? Kara is used, but not for poison, but for the number of debuffs per turn, basically. And yeah, I think I would rather like to speak about what I don't want it to be. I've heard some conversations when I had with other people is that they want the anomaly to spawn the ripples for Meredith and who's this lady, Yasuhua. I wouldn't want it to be that way. So some people are speculating that it'll drop ripples and then you will have to go attack your anomaly and then you would get shots for Izanami or whatever the showcase esper is, because we know from
Yamato, right?
Yamato, yeah, Izanagi, sorry, the reverse one. I think it should just stay there. If they try to limit us, they can limit us like they did with Sentinel Hunt, maybe 12 tokens per week or whichever tokens per month, or it's unlimited. Can we R6 the espers? I'm hoping we can R6 the espers that we can collect as well. and there it shows that it has like you can buff yourself. This is information that we already know. You know, like old storylines where you can, like, after you collect more story tokens, you can then use the tokens to make your team stronger, like invest in AP push or like more damage or like some debuff to the mode. So we're gonna have that. That's confirmed. So I'm hoping with that included, we can, you know, start using different aspers and like clear it faster. Like, the one thing I don't want it to be at the top of the list is I don't want it to be a nuisance. Like, I don't want to have to do it for 3 hours per day to be able to like minimally get my Yamato.
Right.
That's my 2 cents on it. Yeah.
Do you really think that he's gonna be R6 though? Because they did mention that he will not be in the banner for now, but he will join the banner next time, which means he's probably not, unless he's like for this time period, he's able to be R6. Chances are he's probably just gonna be R03. I'm not super sure on it just yet, but that's my guess. That he's only gonna be R03.
I do think he can be R03. Like, if he's going back, I think I missed that part. If he's going to go to the banner at some point, the general banner, I think for sure they'll have to give us to him like R03, not R6. And we've seen like aspers that are not available R6 free, we are allowed to have 1 copies by doing some task, you know, like Jinyu Yao and Phantom Sisters. Like, they allow us to have that, or even Elaine in the previous patch, right? So they can allow us to always give us like a single copy. So like, that's something they're willing to do. So I can see, since Yamato is now touted to be a wind esper, yeah, so I can fully see it being, okay, 1 wind esper. If he's good at R6, you'll have to pull him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Considering the meta at least, right?
So I mean, they confirmed he will be free, right? So we get him once. The question is though, like, do we get like standard missions and after you completed the missions you get him? Or we have to farm maybe the Celestial Anomaly to get him? And what also could be cool is if... So I think there's a limit to how often you can do the Celestial Anomaly, maybe per day. Or per week. I think per day, not per week, but per day. And you get some goodies for completing it. And then they will do the standard X++, X+X, and so on and so forth. Right? And it would be cool, like, if they make it so that you have to use archetypes or like a gimmicky strategy. For example, it's good for, like, you have to use a team which needs to proc multiple like turns. For example, you need like Astralis sets or something like that. Or you need multi-hitters, or you need, I don't know, single target, or you need specific heals or buffs, something, maybe? Or as you guys said, poison or bleed.
Right.
Because otherwise we would just use, I don't know, similar hunt teams.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not sure if poison is gonna be a big deal, then Yunchuan is obviously gonna be a huge deal because he's gonna work really well with poisons. But I'm like just going based on the Holy Stone Tyrant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it should somehow emulate the same concept, which is everyone is just hitting the boss, and then there's like a threshold for reward. So like maybe at 90% we get something, 80% we get something, blah 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 blah, and at the end there's probably like 1 ripple.
Oh, you mean like this, that we're basically like a world boss feature, like what we have with the event right now, that we have to defeat the boss and we get goodies. I think that's a good one. That's a good one. It's because everyone has to work for it.
Yeah, but I wonder how long it would take to get 1 copy of Yamato. Might take a freaking long time.
It might be also possible that we get Yamato within like 2 or 3 days.
Might be.
I doubt it. Like, did you see that Palmy grind? Like, I'm expecting something to that level.
But
like,
the Palmy grind was R6 grind, not like 1 copy of grind. Or the Udai same was R6 grinding. And I don't think we will get an Izanagi R6 for free unless they put him in the fusion pool, same as Hati. And then they gatekeep us with, you have to do X amount of cube miracles, X amount of, I don't know, holo battles maybe even, or stuff you cannot do, like you cannot grind through. You have like it's time kept, right?
Yeah. So they are saying Celestial Anomaly is gonna be the next big content, right? They even have a billboard below it, so it's not even part of like the brain pot. It's like it has its own billboard section. So I guess we can expect a different set, maybe a shop in like the collection of shops, and even I don't know, like better like good rewards. So like I wanted to pose the question in terms of rewards, what are you guys expecting from this content as a whole, outside of Yamato or like any other Esper they choose to rotate, right?
I would definitely love to be surprised, but sorry, M, go ahead.
Yeah, surprise me as you just said, but I feel like the coolest thing we could potentially get, because it's an event, right? So the Celestial Anomaly, is it a permanent thing or is it just for the permanent?
Yeah.
I mean, depends on
That's
how long
right.
it takes to beat, but it would be really cool if we could get ripple boxes.
Oh, right.
Oh, ripple
The
boxes.
copium is back.
I mean,
Ripple copium is back.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
let's be honest, ripple boxes would be cool. I mean, what else
Ripple boxes
do you
would be the
really
best.
wanna get from, like, as a reward? Let's be honest here. Legendary abilimons, which we get from Knockout now, and then we get it from, and then I don't know if they will add frames again for hitting some score, 100%.
True.
But I feel like ripple boxes coming back for Anomaly would be great, in my opinion, because it's new content, it's completely different, and we don't have ripple boxes in the game, and everybody loved ripple boxes.
Loved. Yes.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, if they deleted the code for ripple boxes, the one thing they could do is that they could just give us wish stones.
Oh, that would be good too, wish stones. A
Yeah.
way to get free wish stones, because wish stones, okay, I mean basically we get wish stones for free by summoning, saving and summoning, pulling. We get free wish stones, but having a way to actually get wish stones would be also good.
Exactly. You know, like just adding all these additional places you can farm wish stones. You know, like free to plays don't have to focus on saving summons, and then it might be better like wish stone management. I don't know. Sounds
Wait,
cool.
but do you guys think that this would like finally be the end game content, the end game PVE content?
No. And you know why?
Nah.
There will never be
Why?
an
No.
endgame PvE content, because they will always release something new, which could potentially be the new endgame PvE content. So it could be
Oh, I
temporarily
mean, yeah, for sure.
be the endgame PvE content. But you know what you also forgot? Shade Mother.
Yeah, true.
So I feel like
But
Anomaly is just a kinda co-op whole server. We get together, do your stuff, at once per week we get rewards for killing the Anomaly. I feel like Anomaly is our world boss.
okay. You mean like Summoner's War?
Yeah, I think Epic 7 had something similar.
No,
Epic
we
7.
don't have a world boss.
But it seems like it
wasn't
because
the-
everybody attacks the stuff, and if there's like an HP bar, then it's a world boss. I would call it like that.
Yeah, there's like 3 co-op bosses where you farm like replacement stones. You know, like the stones where you can replace stats. Yeah, that's like the only co-op.
Imagine from the Anomaly we get the gemstones or replacement stones to change substats for our relics.
I'm off
So,
that copium
because-
train, man. Like,
No, I'm
we've
just-
been
I
on
want-
that. I don't
I-
think it's
No,
coming.
no, because I have
Let me-
just for one guess, because they're free, right? They're free. Anomalies, right? And we have free rituals.
Yeah, but those
Chronos.
they're gonna
Chronos,
be
APEP, and
exclusive for their
Fafnir.
own. No. So the anomalies, it's only 3, I think. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but from what I understood was that it's gonna be a 3-month rotation, and a new one comes. So like in 9 months, we'll see 3 of those different ones. I don't know.
Wait, is it three months rotation? Is that what is it? What it's about?
Yeah, I said 3 months rotation, and we've seen 3 bosses so far, or 3 planned bosses.
I had no idea it was like a 3 month gap. I thought it was like a patch, like based on each patch. But I guess.
No. They said 3 months rotation. If I remember.
Okay. No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's not a per patch.
But I was actually hoping that it would be more of like an end game content, because I expected Sentinel Hunt to be end game, but they kept it off at EX++, which makes it not an end game content at all. So
I
was really hoping that this would be something like really difficult, or somehow they scaled it according to every single player.
Hunt also is not really PvE content, let's be honest. You go in there, you have your team, you click Blitz, get your goodies, and get out.
I mean, that's like Ritual Miracles, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's
you get
that's
your
mostly
relics
everything.
there.
Okay, I think that's another thing. Like this is why I think it won't be end game content, is because I think they gave up on that concept. Like, I don't know who complained when, but sort of I think the whole DISLYTE team sort of walked back the idea of there being like true end game content. I don't know.
That is so sad, man.
Also,
It is sad, but it's the reality. It's DISLYTE, boys.
I
It's
mean-
gonna be DISLYTE. We're gonna like you see what happened with Sentinel. You used to be able to maybe do it manually once, or like auto see it once, and now we got like these pink chips, and you can just order from day one. You never have to see the forwarder again. Well, you see the forwarder. You never have to see the Dark Star Lord again.
I'm actually okay with blitzing, by the way.
actually, yeah,
I'm not
me
against
too.
it at all.
Me too.
I'm fine, and I'm not complaining. That's the thing. But I think they went the direction we're gonna be a normie game, which means no hard content, which means I'm fully expecting to blitz anomaly.
I mean, okay,
That's my
but
point.
just because you can blitz doesn't mean that it's gonna be hard. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not gonna be hard, right? It just means that there is a way for you to optimize it.
It's tough to say. I feel like, you know what? It really depends on our views, but like on what really is endgame, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know, like if I think about everything we have in the game, I feel like endgame content is content you cannot blitz.
That you have to manual, right?
That's something like in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you
I
can
hate to
blitz
hear
it,
it, but
it
yeah, I
doesn't
agree.
feel like endgame, right? Because you blitz and then it's done.
Mm.
And let's be
True.
honest, I mean, blitzing is really cool to save time, right? Like we can blitz Hunt, which we all wanted to, because Fibitor, for example, takes way too much time. And you had like, before we got the latest update, we had to clear every single one once, and then we were able to blitz it. Now we can blitz it immediately. And it was kind of annoying, but let's assume we could blitz everything. And that would be boring too.
I feel like maybe the best approach for them is to make this content not blitzable for the time being, but let it like give it like one patch and see how people feel about it and whether blitzing is important or not. Because if it's like Sentinel Hunt, for example, right? I wouldn't mind it being manual at the start, but when I quickly realized that okay, this is gonna be boring as heck, then okay, blitzing is very welcome. So maybe they can do it like that. Just let it be manual at the start.
Yeah, I also feel like I don't have an issue with auto battling. That's also completely fine. You don't need necessarily to manual it. But yeah, disable blitz at least. because
Disable blitz. Oh no.
yeah, because then it gets too much at some point. Because I played a game which was called Mythic Heroes.
What?
What?
No, I never heard of the game before. Okay, what about it?
Yeah, it was that you blitzed everything. You couldn't even manual anything. It was super boring. Like when I quit, I was rank 1 on the server for a couple weeks, and I'm like, dude, this game, there's like nothing to offer. It's so slow and everything. And I quit playing the game just because like there was no real strategy involved or anything. And if you cannot even manual, you have to full auto everything. That's also, I don't know, was boring, in my opinion. If you cannot decide what
I mean, I guess the way I see it is that even if it's like auto content, there is still a strategy involved. It's like auto chess, right? There's always a strategy involved. Even though, like, if you have never played auto chess before, you probably won't think that there's any meaning to it at all. But there's always a strategy in the way you place your units, the way you make certain decisions, the way you calculate your risk. Like in Reincarnation Tower as well, does it make sense to sell an Esper and buy another Esper? There's a little bit of strategy involved. So I do feel like it might be an auto content. There's a possibility of it being. I hope not. I hope that there is manual required, or at least it favors manual play. But I'm open to whatever.
I also don't know if it will be club content. I don't feel like it will be server content based.
Yeah, server for sure.
Server.
Yeah,
1%.
no, for sure.
And I think they were testing things with the reincarnation. No, is it the reincarnation? No, with the Yuhime trial, with the izanami trials, with the bar. That might be the prelude for the celestial anomaly.
Yeah, it actually is not a might. They said specifically it's a prelude. Like the bosses will be similar.
Okay. So we have to down the boss in a specific time, and then we get rewards. Like I guess gems, gold records, maybe even a shimmer record. Who knows?
I feel like everything is scripted, by the way. Like, do you guys really think that the Holy Stone Tyrant is actually going down so slowly? I feel like it would have
very
gone down.
Scripted. Like the event.
Yeah.
Like all those events are always scripted. It's like, what's gonna happen if you don't down it? It's not coming next patch. Like what's actually gonna happen here?
Yeah.
So,
Imagine.
100%.
Imagine it's
yeah, they just looked at Friday. They were like, oh yeah, no, it's a good time for it to completely die. So they're like, yeah, it's dead, guys. Here's a video.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I wonder.
I mean, like moving on from Celestial Anomaly, seems like we are all hoping it's endgame content, good rewards, obviously, and
Ripper boxes.
the hope is R6 Izanagi, but we are expecting R0 Izanagi.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
that's the general consensus.
Wait, sorry, if I may, I just want to add one more.
Yeah.
I do hope that there is a leaderboard attached to it where you can see the top total DPS done by each player. If it's going to be like limited entries per day or per week, right? Like if they can show the total damage done by whichever player, I think that'll be.
I think they will do that. I think there will be some type
because, yeah, as well as I'm fully expecting frames because we got frames for knockout this season, right?
Yeah.
So I'm fully expecting anomaly frames and a leaderboard. Like I don't want it to be part of the ultimate spire. That's gonna be weird. Like let it be like its own leaderboard, I guess.
Yeah.
Like this guy scored this much high in exactly one run. So, but yeah.
Yeah, but I do hope that it stacks. So like if you attack twice, then they will stack your total DPS or something. Then it will really show you the disparity between the real whales and the free-to-play players, right? But I think it's good so that you give people an idea.
It's gonna be fucking insane. No, if it stacks, oh my god. Oh no. I mean, I guess it's like the most innovative players will always win. You know, like there's like innovative players and there's players that wait for Daddy Free to Play to take out a video and say, "Hey, look, this team got me a high score." It's like while they're copying that team, there's a guy who's thinking of a new team, and is like doing even higher scores at that point. But
Yeah, for sure. There is dude, there's so many players in this game who are way more innovative.
Yeah,
I'll take credit for some stuff, but apart from that, most other players in this game, I mean, I won't say most other players, but like there are a lot of players out there who have come up with a lot of crazy shit. I don't deny it. Like Tana, for example, right?
Yeah, Thana's
I think he's
crazy.
like one of the.
He has the brains and the whale.
Yeah.
It's like
He's
it's always
insane,
dangerous when a whale like knows
It's
the
smart.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do at that point.
Yeah, he's just gonna automatically win everything.
Yeah.
I was trying a new team for PvE for APAP, but I didn't have the relic quality behind it to make it work. So
APAP?
yeah, for APAP, I was trying for a high score for APAP, but it didn't work. So I have to figure out how I can actually improve on that. But for now, I just keep on farming Chronos.
So you're just Tana without the brains.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Exactly. Exactly. Best
Okay.
fit.
Okay, I know. Talk about that. I guess let's move on to the second point, which is
Yeah.
is Yuhime worth pulling? Do you think she'll play a part into Anomaly? Do you
Yeah.
think she'll scale well into the future? Is she worth pulling? If I'm a
100%.
starter, is she worth pulling? If I'm in the mid game or the late game? What's you guys' opinion?
Someone start.
David, you can start.
Okay. In my opinion, right now, from whatever content that we have, probably not. Right? She's probably not a very important aspect right now because even if you're trying to speed cliff shit, there are better ways for you to speed cliff stuff. I'm not sure why I'm hearing my echo, but so she's not necessary in that sense.
that
You
was
can always run a
me,
tanky
sorry.
team. Oh, no worries, no worries. And in terms of like generic PvE shit, she's not needed at all. 100% not needed at all. She's just nice to have, but not needed. But with that said, I do feel like she is an important aspect that you need to have because in the future she's going to have value. 100%. That is for sure guaranteed 100%. She's eventually going to have something meaningful because she has a speed lead with AoE DPS and she can reduce HP cap. That in itself is a big deal. It's just that in this game, PvP kind of sucks right now. There are much better strategies than using your generic speed cleave comps. Like speed control, right? Speed control is a lot stronger right now.
R6
So my
Sienna.
yeah, Sienna, all the usual your Changji teams, your Brewster teams, all those are like so much stronger.
Mhm.
So I do feel like she's not that good to pull right now. I would give her a B, but eventually she will be good.
Yeah, I guess it's a good point to step in for me because I actually echo your sentiments. I remember when she like first came out, I wanted to make a video of her or Leora, but everyone's opinion was like skip Leora, her. So I kind of was like, I think you should get Leora. So I don't want to go against the tide too much and like get some heat. So I didn't make any video on it. Like if you guys look at my channel, I made 0 video on like whether Yuhime or Leora. But I don't think she's bad. Like in the future, like her future proof is amazing. She is a speed
Yep.
lead Inferno
Yep.
AoE DPS esper, right?
Yeah.
Like that will come in handy any day. Like any patch, she might become the one
Yep.
because
Exactly.
of like how she is. Yeah. So it's just hard to use right now. It's like cleave is not meta, right? It's not the most effective technique, whatever. I forgot the actual definition, but like speed cleave is not better. She doesn't fit like a glove, especially since speed cleave currently depends on Ashley, right? Maybe the day it does not depend on Ashley and there's another enabler for speed cleave. Maybe she might find a home in that. She will find a home in that.
Unless you have an R2 Unas, then you don't necessarily need to use Ashley. But that's a different story.
I mean, sure. I mean, I have no Unas at all, so that's like the few of the few, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my thing is that in the early game, should you pull for her? No, you're gonna feel
No.
Not
No,
summon
yeah.
for her. In the
100%.
mid game,
So
she won't get you out of the mid game. She's not that type. At that point, just use the 100 for like Leora or Gaius or any other DPS. I don't know. In the late game, I think everyone use your 100 wish stones to pocket her. Even if you think you're gonna bench her, just get her, and then you have her from that point on. Because it's gonna be harder to get. You don't want to be the guys. You don't want to be me. Every ban I'm crying for Kenji. I'm like, dude, just show up, please.
how about your Flaming Echo? How about your Flaming Echo?
Yeah, so yeah, that's my opinion at least. Just
what's on
game,
your
just
Flaming Echo
like, who are you gonna get?
Dude, I have the worst Flaming Echo possible. Legit.
I got good though.
I have like my Flaming Echo is the absolute worst. I have Tricky, Zora, Inti, Clara, and Liling. 3 out of those 5
all R6.
Are R6. So right now it's between Intiza and Clara. If I want to make Intiza R2 or Clara R5, and I just wait for my last option. I'm just waiting for my last option here. If there's a saving grace for me. No, I wait for my last option. But
Intiza
I'm
will
also
be
waiting
the best
because
right now.
I don't use Intiza. Even if she would be R2, I would still not use her at all. So I wait for my last
R6,
thing.
bro. You need
Dude,
R6.
R6 is so far away. I rather wait for maybe my last pick is a Brewster, so I can R6 him.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, for sure.
Yeah, no,
Embla,
100%.
first copy of an Embla, another CJ for R4 CJ, Ethan. There are many more options, so I wait for my last pick. But nonetheless,
100% for sure.
when it comes to the izanami topic right now, is I also didn't make a video about between pull Leo or izanami, because I never do these kind of videos, what to pull for. But I think if I mentioned it in a video or in a stream, I said just get both. That's just my general opinion about both of them. And if we think about, because she has a universal speed lead, right? Like, for people who don't have an Ole or Tia, izanami is a great pull. Absolutely great pull. There's like no reason why they should not get her. Like, you don't have a 25% speed lead. Here is your free 25% speed lead. And you only need one copy, by the way. You only need one copy, and that's it. And I feel like she is a bit gimmicky for PvP. But still, I used her, and I feel like she has very great synergy together with Leora. She has actually very great synergy, because Leo just gives her the standoff, and then she just is invincible till forever. And that's actually works really good. And I actually changed how I play my izanami, so she's not on a super heavy DPS build. I made her a bit more tankier, because most of her damage comes from the 20% HP reduction.
Yep. You mean S3 wise?
Yeah, S3 wise. The 20% HP reduction. So that's like her biggest damage, and then she has utility with AoE defense break. And maybe at the end, there's an hide or something you can S1. But like, if you combine, for example, Leo with izanami, you can get standoff on the izanami so she does not die, and then you just spam S2 to get defense break for your other units to increase the damage output. She's not really bad. So I wouldn't even say like skip her. If you have a lot of wish stones, I'd say get one copy of her, and that's fine. Because
so we actually agree on one thing.
Yeah.
We actually agree on the same shit. Yeah.
You don't.
At some point, but right, the future proofing.
And still, you can use her.
There,
100% you can use her right now. 100% you can use her. She's great in what she does. And maybe in the future as well, there might be some other synergies which make her insanely good.
Yeah, for the mere fact that she extends buffs, right? But of course, there's the issue of like Lucy and Trickies, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah. So I mean, my hope of Nusi getting nerfed died with the message I received. that Nusi is reasonable balanced.
Wait, you got the message from who?
Yeah, he got it from the help.
Lilith, from the WhatsApp VIP. Like I sent them,
shit,
then they
man.
said they will
Reasonably
evaluate
balanced.
stuff,
That's
and then
great.
like 3 days, 4 days later, I got a random message, and then they said after evaluation and everything, the dev team decided or said, looking at the data and so on and so forth, that Feng Nusi at this point in time is reasonably balanced in DISLYTE, and I'm like, okay, so you don't play the game, I know.
Yeah, flip
It's
it,
ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I missed top 64 by like the last day. I used my last token was number 58, and then I got attacked by
wow.
2 Nusi people, and I'm like, fuck me. I ended up at like 0.1. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, for me it was
Wow,
actually
that's not bad.
for me it was actually the funnest thing if you're talking about KO. I was on a call with Energy for like I don't know how many hours, and he went to the toilet. He said
Oh, you guys are in love, bro.
he said he needed to take a shit. I'm like, yeah, okay, hurry up, man. So I waited for like 15-20 minutes or so. He didn't show up because he took his sweet time, and it was 1:30 a.m., 30 minutes before reset, and I was in my chair falling asleep. So I fell asleep with 12 tickets in my hands, woke up
What?
10 minutes
What?
after reset, and finished rank 34.
Oh my god.
Okay, at least you still 12 tickets. What the heck, dude?
12 tickets, rank 34. I just fell asleep. I would have been actually top 10. But yeah,
Noise.
but
No,
you know,
drink a coffee next time.
sleep won the battle. But that's
What time was it for you?
Yeah,
It was
reset
up-
reset is 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the time.
Ouch. Well, that sucks, man.
That's why
Yeah.
Well, that really sucks.
I
Damn.
couldn't stay awake. Okay, nonetheless, I think we discussed the Izanami topic, if she's worth pulling. I feel like if you have enough wish stones, get 1 copy of her. I mean, you guys can also just wait till tomorrow or Tuesday when they show the new ESPA, and on Thursday we have the PTR, right? Depending on that, people can make the decisions.
Yep. But I do feel like, regardless, if you're a spender, I think Yuhime is definitely R0. Just get her so that you don't regret it in the future.
Yeah, basically.
That.
Yeah.
And she's usable at R0. I hope they continue this trend, hey? It started with Elaine and Leora. I
Yeah.
hope from now on we don't need R2s. Like, dude, that was so exhausting.
Yep. 100% agreed. Like, it should just add value, not... Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
not add a
Well-
new face to the kit. You know, like it's like transform. You know, now he does what he did, but much better. Like it needs to like be additive, and I think these ones are additive, so that's good.
Oh, I just discovered some shit, by the way, off topic. Embla. Sorry, I was using
What?
Embla, I was testing her. When Embla has 7 stacks on an enemy and you use like Lucas S3, which hits everyone 3 times, right?
Mhm.
The seed will explode and 2 more hits will land on the other 2 enemies that were infected. So it becomes 3 and 3 as well, or 4 and 4 as well. Oh, no, 3 and 3, yep. So just
Also,
something
hey,
that I found.
debuff counts in between multi hits.
Yes. The infection itself gets affected by the multi-hits as well.
Okay.
Yep, you're right.
Did you test with different Espas as well? Like with different multi-hitters? Or
Oh
is
no,
it
I just tested
something-
Lucas.
Okay. So maybe with Fang it works as well.
Yeah, but that'll be huge.
Maybe
That's
Fang
super
works.
huge.
You would mention her, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Oh, but this is great. So yeah, you can just spam your skills basically. Just spam everything. Yeah.
so next up,
Okay. Yeah. Next.
Next.
Lilith revenue.
Wait, so I need to... I think it's this one here. I hope it works. Oh, wait, it does
I
not
can't see your
show.
screen right now yet.
No, I
but-
try to...
You can just put over my face, by the way, since there's like a lot of space.
Maybe if I have to do it differently.
But why is it that your chat has different colored names? Like I'm purple, but some are blue, some are green.
It's random.
Oh,
So let me see where the picture is. I might have to do it with snipping tool maybe, because with photos it doesn't work. Maybe it works like this. Let me check.
Oh yeah, for people wondering, he's trying to pull on the revenue for April. It's
Oh, it
gonna
works.
be scary different. Or you got it. Yeah, it's gonna be scary different, but basically the MaTeIRiA and like the huge ad push, and I don't know. I think it counts the leora banner. That happened in April, right?
Sure.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, leora banner into Yihime banner. It's basically how much money that they make. We have a report compared to other gachas.
So I made it big now that everybody can see it. At least a bit, if you make it very like big. But the very interesting part is the top 50 mobile gacha games global revenue and downloads tier list for April 2023. And what we see here is very interesting that DISLYTE is actually in the top 10 on...
5. No, wait,
Number
top
5.
what?
even.
No, it's on
No, it's
top
top
10. It's
7.
Oh wait.
Oh,
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5,
it's 7,
6,
okay.
It's in the top 10. It's place 7, and DISLYTE had actually a download change of 500% and a revenue increase of 450%. So in March 2023, DISLYTE generated $2 million, and in April they managed to hit $11 million. 450% increase in revenue.
That is a stark difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can say it's the ad push. It works, especially with the download percentage increasing by about 500 plus. So it's just people trying the game from different content creators they like. But the spending, it's like I don't think a lot of people like spend $1 and then it like doubled everything to like 11. So, you know, it's maybe the people in the game as well who are already playing the game were happy enough to start spending. But yeah,
Yep.
that's my opinion. What do you guys think?
So I think one of the big parts here for the revenue change is, first of all, Lilith did a crazy ad campaign for the game with Leora and so on, and with Leora and Elaine, right? They spent a lot of money on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and so on and so forth. Plus the JP server got released as well, so we got a lot of new players introduced to DISLYTE with Camille added to the game as well with the JP content creator, which also generated more traction to the game. Then we also had Markiplier, who made a big ad which like millions of people saw, which also
Wait,
gave
hold
more
on. One thing, I don't think this encompasses JP and Korea, by the way, because this is worldwide, right? So I don't think it's for JP and Korea servers. I think this is just global server itself.
I think it's worldwide, like with JP and Korea and everything.
Really,
Because-
normally they separate it, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but I I think it's like every region. But nonetheless, it's a huge revenue increase. And so because of that, Lilith saw that their whole marketing strategy and everything worked as they hoped for, or maybe even better than they hoped for, because DISLYTE made even more money than their old game AFK Arena, which they have for I don't know how many years. But what's also interesting about the revenue and what it could possibly mean for the future of DISLYTE is, first of all, if they can sustain the player base and the revenue to a certain degree. I think it's a spike anyways, but if they can sustain like a healthy player base and popularity for this game, what it means is like for the future we get more like maybe cooperations with different games, for example, and also they might change the idea about releasing new aspers and their revenue model, because what we are noticed is with Leora and with Izanami is we got 2 new aspers which were completely playable at R0 and were not R2 must-haves to be usable at all, and their R6s are not broken to a point where you have to say like, okay, that R6 I need to get it because otherwise I cannot compete with other people, for example. And that might be a trend for the future, that possibly every new Esper they release from this point now on, for the time being, might be relevant at R0, and their resonances might be not as strong as other units, and you're not obliged to spend more wish stones to get a higher reso level on the specific unit.
Do you think that given the current system since Elaine and Leora, do you think whales still had a reason to whale? Or do you think they are like, oh, now I don't need to spend?
Oh,
or do you think people are still spending?
They are still spending, because I saw people having R6 Izanamis.
Oh yeah, no, that's still
crazy,
spending. Even Leora herself. Like,
But
I know
like,
Sturby went in saying, Tiger, you yourself were like, oh, I need to get R5. You know, stuff like you need R5 to completely clear Kronos.
Yeah, but it's not...
I think, they definitely went in.
Yeah, I went in with Leo, and I do not regret my decision to R5 her at all. And I was in a very comfortable spot with my wish stones to do that. Like, if I only had like 300 wish stones or 400 or something, I wouldn't have done that. But because I had as many as I had, I was comfortable enough to just make a R5 to get my high score in Kronos. But she's not really... It's not a necessity, like past R0. Yes, R1 would be fine for a 10% final damage increase, but if you look at her resos, really, you don't really need it. Like, if you pull copies of her, you will be happy. Obviously, it improves her, but it's not an improvement that completely changes the game, if you know what I mean.
So why do you get the R5 copy of her?
I got an R5 copy of her so I can one-shot the second wave of Kronos.
Wow.
That's why I R5'd her.
Will. Insane.
So, you see, that's
insane.
So
yeah,
I didn't R5 her so that I can beat everyone in PvP or something. I R5'd her so I can one-shot the boss in the second wave, the mini boss. That's it.
That is crazy, dude. Okay, I mean, as long as there's a reason, but okay, so aside from, what about like small spenders? Do you think they have a reason to want to chase all these crazy shit?
What do you mean by all this crazy shit?
Do you think there is like, would this affect the total spending aside from just like the biggest whales in a game?
Yes, because right now the only spenders in the game are like big spenders, right? So the big spenders are, if you compare it to revenue of March, right? So March revenue was even, for example, and even was an R2 unit, right? So a lot of people, they were like, okay, no, I don't want to spend any money, I don't have the resource, I might skip him, and so on and so forth, or they invested into it, and whilst we're just going all out on, yeah, I want to have it, right? But with the change of having R0 Espers, which are relevant at R0, people are more comfortable to spend their wish stones and not thinking about every time, oh, I need to save my wish stones, I need to have 700 wish stones every single time. I'm just waiting for that one broken Esper to get to R6 immediately, and I do not care about anything else. So they just spend their wish stones and get the new units because they can. And then also they might think about, okay, every Esper is usable at R0 and they're not broken at R2, 4 or 6. Like I need to get it there. So people are like, okay, I have now 130 wish stones. For example, I will get the new unit now. Afterwards, I will have 30 wish stones. And then 3 weeks later, we get a new unit, and they might, at this point, they have like 50 or 60 wish stones, and then they think about, oh, I really want to have the new unit, and I only need to buy 1 or 2 wish stone packs, for example, and then I already have enough to get the new unit again. So I don't have to spend heavy, but just a bit to get the new Espers. And because of that, like lower spenders or people start spending a little bit more because they don't feel like I need to spend huge amount of money to get, because there's a difference, because everybody earns different money, right? So there's like a thing, you have your income a month, and you can let's say spend 100 or 50 bucks or 100 bucks, assume like that, per month for a game, and it does not hurt you. And if there's like an Esper, and you know, from your current perspective, if you want to have that specific Esper relevant on your account, you have to spend at least 300, 400 bucks to get it to a point where you want to have it. And then you're like, no, I don't spend this money because that's too much for me. But if it's just, okay, I only need to spend 50 to get it, and that's fine for me and for my financials, then they are more like obliged to spend the money. Like then they feel like, okay, it's fine for me. So I just spent 50 and I get the unit I really wanted to. And that's fine. Like it's about the barrier of entry. It's about the barrier of entry.
Yeah, but why do you think they didn't go for this go with this path at the start? Like why did they just make like R2 Espers, right? Like from Yunchuan. Yunchuan was I think he was like the first curse that we had, right?
Because you know, like we guys, we three, Kovian, you and I, we play this game since like launch. You to pre-launch. I started like a week or 2 weeks after global launch, right? And we had a lot of different stuff. Like we didn't have first pity was 120 pulls, then the banners with 800, 900 pulls to guarantee your ollie, shit like that. Then they reduced it. Then we got SSMs.
R2 dependent and R0 dependent.
Then we had our whole old resonance systems was completely what is the word for it? They overhauled the reso system twice to a point where we have it right now. And then they started about thinking, okay, what can we do to get more money? And they thought like, okay, R2 might be something. And they tried to get revenue, because I noticed that they tried different things to increase their income, their revenue income. So they tested the waters with R2. And if you look at the revenue, 2 mil wasn't that great in March for a game. It's fine, but it's not great, right? And now they had a big increase in revenue, and they did not had to release an R2 Esper for that to happen.
Yeah, they didn't have to fuck up their player base. Yep.
So that's
look at that. If you're nice, everything will come out nice. Who knew?
And that's why my personal opinion for that is it could be possible moving forward, for the time being, that they stick with the R0 trend again. And if things change in the future, they might switch back to R2.
Yeah, and I mean they can always mix it up, right? It doesn't have to be an era with one and like an era without. So like it could be a situation whereby it's like 3 R0 dependent.
Kovian?
Wait, Kovian, we lost you. Oh no. What the heck?
I think he has to reconnect.
Kovian, we lost you, bro.
Out Aspo.
We lost you. Technical issues.
He's muted now.
He might have to fix it. And also, if they really need money, they can just release another Broken Shimmer legendary.
Hi guys, am I back?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Now we hear you.
Yeah, did you hear what I said before then?
No.
About like not.
For the
Oh,
past,
okay, like what
like
I was
the
saying
last
is that
60 seconds, nothing.
Sheesh. Okay, what I was saying was that it doesn't have to be a period where there's R0s and a period where there's R2s. They can always mix it up, you know, like maybe 3 R0 Aspers in a row. And then while everyone's still comfortable, bam, drop like an Ethan level R2 required, you know, like a Yunchuan R2 required Asper. Maybe drop 2 in a row and then, you know, mix it up in a way. I think that would work. It doesn't have to be like, oh, from this point on, we abolish the dependency on R2 completely.
But also, if you think about it, if we look at the current trend for the last 2 patches, what they did is they might try different trend with double banners. So the new featured Esper and then one returning Esper. Because right now it's Izanami and Gap.
Yeah.
And before that it was Leo and Elaine, but Elaine just sucked, let's be honest, but we got her free. So that was fine. But that might be a possibility that they try the double banner trend. So you R0 is fine, and then we get a returning Esper, legendary Esper, like you really want it because you can pull or something, or you need resonances for that. You will spend.
Yeah,
on
they
that banner.
got me with Ashley during the Ethan banner because they did Ethan Ashley, and I went and got Ashley. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they can get a couple of them there. Dude, am I disconnected again?
So David, what do you think? He's drinking. Big chunk of water.
Wait, sorry. Did you guys say something else? Drinking
Yeah,
water?
yeah,
I was
we
taking
saw
a
that.
sip.
Yeah, we saw that. Now, what's your opinion on that topic? Like moving forward.
Wait,
with
what? I want the game to grow, that's for sure. So I need a game like from a creator's perspective, right? Not so much of like a player's perspective. From a creator's perspective, it's very important that the game has like really good cash flow. Obviously having R2 Espers would benefit the cash flow in some way, but it will also kill the player base. So it's kind of like a juggle between having R0 Espers and R2 Espers. So that's part of the reason why I asked about what do you guys think about this like would the game still make money by releasing R0 Espers? Because I frankly would not summon beyond whatever there is necessary. Like for in your instance, when you came to Leora, you wanted to one-shot the second wave. That's why you went for the R5, right? But
yeah.
I would never ever do that. Even though I
course.
could spend that money, right? But I will not do it because it's not efficient for me. But I do feel like a lot of players tend to have that mindset as well, where if it's not efficient, they're not going to do it, which means that they're not going to spend. But if they don't spend, then that sucks for the game. But at the same time, right, you brought up a point about being... I'm not sure is it you or is it Kovian? I think it was Kovian. He said, like, if you do good things, then good things will come to you.
Yeah, Kovian.
There is one case study on Dragalia Lost. Not sure if you guys have played the game. It's a game by Cygames, and it was managed by Nintendo. And Nintendo wanted the game to be very free-to-play friendly. Like, they didn't want to push packs. They wanted to like give a lot of free summons. So every single update, there's like free 10 summons or like up to 20 summons, something like that. So what happened is the game eventually became like no one spend money on the game at all. Like you could win the game without spending money on the game, which is part of its charm, and that's why a lot of people love the game when it was still alive. But now the game is officially dead. Like they had to close servers because it was just not making money for Nintendo anymore. Which is like their generosity backfired on them because now people became very comfortable with not spending. And that's a potential issue, and I'm very worried that being too generous could have its own setback. So I think every game is different. Yep. Sorry. What? Yes, Kovian?
No, he's muted.
Wait, you muted yourself, bro. Do you like sit on your mic or something?
Hello. Oh my dude.
Hey yo.
You guys hear me? I'm
Yeah.
having connection problems. Like I said, I'm at my girlfriend's place and I'm using like my phone's 4G to like, hotspot my laptop.
What?
So yeah, everything is the connection.
Does she not have Wi-Fi, bro?
Yeah, she does not have Wi-Fi.
Does she not have Wi-Fi?
Dude,
Yeah, she
What?
doesn't have Wi-Fi.
imagine not having Wi-Fi.
What?
Hermit life, man.
How?
Hermit life. Dude, I don't even know. I have to ask her, actually. I have to ask her. So, but yeah.
Wait, what?
How can you live in 2023 without Wi-Fi?
Yeah. What the
I
heck?
don't even know, bro.
But I mean-
See, she's actually listening to you guys now, so we are flaming her.
Nah, man, I'm just kidding. But that's interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, we've been talking a lot about revenue being tanked by not having our two Aspers, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know. I guess we'll just see. I don't think it will tank that much because once a game is a 2 million game, it stays a 2 million game for a while. For example, look at Epic 7. Epic 7 is a 2 million game, and it's a game where you literally do not need any dupes at all. Like free to play, you can get every 5-star, like every legendary, you can get it free to play. The only pay to win aspect is that they take out shimmers faster than in DISLYTE, basically. And the monetization, the big monetization is in shimmers, and shimmers are good in PvP. So I guess it's time to go to the fourth point. I'll open up with it, right? I'll open up with the fourth point, which is that what this game needs, quotation in brackets PvP, right? This game needs RTA. Summoners War and Epic 7 live off the fact that they know if they take out an Esper and it shakes up the PvP meta, the whales will summon. That's just it. Right now, like there was you mentioned that they're free to play, that you wouldn't spend like our 5 leora for Chronos to one-shot Chronos, right? But I bet you people will get R6 someone, R6X, if that R6X is the meta in RTA. Like they would completely do it.
Even
like a bunch of
R6.
people.
CJ.
No, that's for sure,
Shame.
dude. That's for sure.
Yeah, so in
PvP is
terms of
different,
PvP, like that mode needs to come. Like whether it's popular or not, like just have it in the game. Like it wouldn't hurt anyone. And Raid Shadow Legends did something. They launched the RTA mode, right? And then they observed what people were doing. Again, it's very scummy, but it gets them money. They observed what was the meta, and for like a week straight, they pull out banners of the meta Espers. Like that was the funniest thing to observe from like outside. So, like in terms of PvP that we need, number one, I do think we need RTA. It's the technology is already there. Like they have already done warm-up matches. There's no reason not to put it in as a permanent content. Another PvP that I think would be pretty good for the game would be like an arena, yeah. So like a point war mode, but then the point war mode we have like 10 Espers, but then they're limited to like 4 stars and down. So I was playing this game. It was a weird game. It had like a point war mode. Like this is the arena. Like you can put in up until like 10 Espers. That was crazy. And the normal play is like you put in 4 to 3 Espers, but there you had to put in 10 Espers, but then they were limited to like the lower rarity Espers. So I think something like that could be a fun little mode that could happen. But yeah, outside of that, I haven't seen, in terms of gacha actually, I haven't seen much PvP outside of like RTA, Guild Siege, Guild PvP, like standard point war, right?
Yeah.
So I think something like that, where we put in a lot of our lower rarity Espers into like a PvP mode, would be great.
Also, quick off topic, it's funny to me that Goddess of Victory Nikki is actually rank 4 when it comes to revenue.
Because all the boobas, man.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just the
boy.
waifus.
Yeah. But the game isn't really,
The simplest.
like, it's literally one of the worst games ever. But nonetheless, back to the topic. So, I think, I don't know if everybody can agree on that thing, but I feel like as long as they can maintain their revenue the way it is right now, or the way it was in April at least, right? They could continue the R0 trend with a double banner. Right?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it would be also good for everyone, right?
But I guess a big part of, I mean, now that we're going back into the revenue part again, but a big part of the revenue growth is probably because of the anniversary. So
Yeah.
this could
Anniversary
be
and that.
something for them to consider if they make every single one of the events special, right? Maybe people will spend. Maybe this is something that they can think about. Like, I'm not sure whether is it just like a hype-based thing that's why people are spending, or is it because like, oh, now we actually feel more confident about the game, right?
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
hoping that it's the confidence part.
I feel like we discussed everything when it comes to the revenue part. So our fourth topic, which we slightly talked about right now, was what this game needs when it comes to PvP.
Yeah.
Kovian.
Yeah, he raised a lot of stuff. Okay, he mentioned something about
Yeah.
like if you have an R6 Esper, then people will go for it, and for PvP purposes. And yeah, I fully agree. There's a big difference between having an R6 Esper, like let's say Brewster or Sienna for PvP, as opposed to R5 Leora for PvE for one specific content. I think that's a very big difference. So, but the thing is, if it's an R6 Esper that would make it really good for PvP, I don't know if this is what the game needs right now. Because in terms of RTA, people are saying that the game needs RTA, right? But the thing is, they have tried RTA, and the general consensus is that people still hate it. And the reason for that is because they think that Nusi is not broken, and they think that JJ is fair use, or maybe they think that everyone should be able to use any Esper that they want without having to like pre-ban, or you can have duplicate Espers and all that. I think that's also a very important thing that they have to consider. I think there's a lot of things that they need to adjust. We've been talking about this for like forever, but PvP, in my opinion, I don't think it's. Oh no, Kovian is has blah blah blah. He has lost connection. I don't think the game is mature enough for PvP to happen like RTA, because right now the general Esper pool is great. There's a decent pool of Espers, I think, but for the most part there are still some incredibly broken options, which kind of takes away from the fun of RTA, right? That the balancing is still off. It will always be off. Unless they fix some of the Espers, like Nusi, for example. But people are not going to be happy about it. So I don't know, man. I feel like currently the game is in a huge pit that they have created. It's very unfortunate.
I mean,
I don't know how can a game get out of it.
I mean, the first thing, in my opinion, that needs to happen is actually balancing units. Doesn't like buffing or nerfing, whatever they decide to do, but actually balancing units. That's the first thing that needs to happen, to be honest.
Right.
Because there are so many units which we do not use in the game. We have so many units which, like, I feel like 50% of the units in the game we don't use at all. And then there's the next thing you mentioned is people don't like RTA, But is it really like a problem of the game mode, or is it more a problem of how Lilith designed it? So
I think it's both.
It's
And the Espers itself.
So it's the thing that, like at the beginning, it made sense that you can, like, both players can pick the same unit, right? Because we didn't have that many units to choose, right?
Yep.
But now we're actually in a spot where we can say we have enough units where we can actually make the adjustment that as soon as a unit gets picked, the other person is locked out of that specific unit. I think we reached the point where we can actually do that. And
Yeah.
they just need to balance it a little bit, and also with the points that, for example, if you're high ranked and you match a lower rank person, also with point win zone or general PvP, but if you as a high rank match a low rank person, if you win as a high rank, you just gain like minimal amount of points. It's like doesn't change much for you. But if the other person wins the fight, you lose like huge points. And if the low rank person loses, he just loses like 1 point or something. It isn't a big deal. So they need to balance the point system to a certain degree, and they just need to change how it's played. Like pre-ban, which we discussed, would be a great thing. And also there's two things they can also do. So as we discussed with locking people out of the picks, and as well what they could do, which I saw, like I logged into Summoner's War yesterday. I don't know when they introduced it, but I think it's a nice feature that there is like a seasonal featured Esper list of units. Like there's a list of units of 5 stars and 4 stars Espers you can pick and use in RTA if you don't have them, for example. And they could introduce that to RTA as well. So there's like, for this season of RTA, you have a Clara, a Sienna, Brewster, Pandora, like a pool of Espers. And then for people who maybe don't have these units, are like, cool, I actually can use one of the units I actually wanted to use, or I really need for RTA at least. So they can rotate, make a featured support thing you can bring for RTA, for example.
Yep, that makes sense. And maybe like they can expand on it, and like maybe they can ban certain Espers as well, so in certain seasons, right? Yeah, I think they definitely have something. Like it's definitely possible for them to make RTA work.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible. It's just it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of planning, and I really hope they get the strategy right.
I feel like they didn't release. I think actually, because we saw a leak, which we cannot discuss, but I think RTA is coming with the next patch.
I haven't actually seen any leaks yet, to be honest. Oh, but Kovian said, guys, I can't save the connection.
But he cannot save the connection.
I think he means his connection is like completely screwed. He can't save it.
He can just join the call on his phone. He doesn't need the laptop for it.
True.
That's one thing.
Let him know. Yeah.
So I think it will come actually with the next patch. The question is for how long though? Is it 8 days, 14 days, 30 days? Who knows with Lilith? Because like every RTA season has a different time. Like maybe the next season is just 2 days. Who knows at this point? Or a 24 hours limit. Who knows really? But yeah, they just need to really think about what they want to do with PvP in this game. And also with Holo Battle, we already discussed that as well. Put rewards into it, even if they are minuscule, but at least put something in there. and I think knockout was the greatest addition to PvP.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think too much about it, but knockout is indeed one of the most involved, even though it's completely auto, but it's one of the most involved formats I've ever seen. Because, for instance, right, recently some dude attacked me, shooting star.
Yeah.
So he smashed my point wall defense many different times. Like, he kept losing to me, but he kept changing his lineup. So eventually he won with a certain lineup, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, this guy is really trying super hard to beat me in point wall for some reason. But I realized that he was actually doing it just so that he can test my defense in knockout for free. So he actually used that final that final offense team to hit my knockout defense, and he smashed me entirely.
Yeah.
Which just made me feel like, wow, knockout is actually something that you need to put a lot of thought into. So even if you're attacking someone else, you shouldn't always be using the same offense team, right? You should be building according to what they have and what are your assumptions about their defenses, because there's two different defenses. So you need to make sure that not only do you win the first defense, but the second defense is able to hold up as well. So there was a lot of thought put into knockout. I mean, there is a lot of thought that needs to be put into knockout, I think. It's not so much of like a skip battle point war feature. It's not really the same.
Yeah. And what I also noticed with knockout is like people get really, really invested with knockout. For example, as you just said, someone is testing certain things, right?
Yeah.
I did that too. Testing in point war against like what can I use, what can I bring against specific comps. And also, if you noticed as well, maybe, is people who know about that don't use their knockout defenses in their point war defense. Because they don't want people to test teams against it.
Yeah, I learned my lesson the hard way.
And with knockout, I noticed like everyone is like super active on Discord. Like, okay, what can I use in defense? How can I beat this? How can I do that? What's the strategy? I need to save tickets. Then there's the rush hour 20 minutes before reset and so on and so forth. Pushing for the highest rank possible. So people are actually very invested into knockout.
Yeah, which is great. I love it. I love it a lot. I mean, obviously, both of us are like top 64 players, right? So we love it. But I think even if setting aside the rewards and all that, right? I do feel like it's a great step forward that it's more engaging. And PvP needs to be more engaging, I think. Yeah. And it needs to be engaging in a way that it doesn't make you feel like shit. Like you don't feel bad about like losing in RTA, for example. I think it kind of feels really shitty sometimes, especially for me. I hate RTA because like when you lose, it's like, oh frick, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like knockout is like a great improvement.
And also the good thing about it is you put like there's so much theory craft involved into it, because I discussed like comps and so on, strategies, how do I do this, how do I do that, and what team do I use in team 1, what team do I use in team 2, and then we were like theory crafting, okay, but wait, but if you use that in team 2, you can get like outsped or something, cleaved or so on and so forth. And then you look at your defense record and you notice like, no, that's not the point I'm trying to defend, because from the trend of the attacks I got, for example, at a specific point in time, they tried to out-tank me and not to cleave for that specific team. So I designed then the defense not to compete against a cleave team, but to compete against someone who's trying to out-tank it.
Yep.
And there's like a lot of things you can do. And that's actually, that's why I like the mode a lot. And then Cecilia helped me also just to put it in the first team.
Cecilia,
Cecilia is a great cleave cock block in the first lineup. That helps.
True.
That helps. Yeah. But nonetheless, I think we discussed PvP. I think there's not really much we can discuss about it. Let's be honest at this point. I think Knockout is just a great addition. RTA, hopefully they make the right adjustments so people get engaged doing it more. And also please only put legendary Esper skins into RTA, no 4-star epics. Seriously. That should be RTA always legendary skins. Yeah. But nonetheless, last topic of the day is what this game needs PvE. What's Daily Free to Play? What
needs
do
endgame,
you
bro.
really want from PvE? Like, let's assume you are head of development, CEO, Lilith, and you can do whatever you want with DISLYTE, okay? You are completely free, you say it, they do it, they implement it, and it's in the game. What would be the PvE content you would design and introduce to DISLYTE? What is it about, and what kind of rewards does it give?
That's a bit huge.
Yeah, but
That's
then
a huge question.
Yeah, it's a good question because then we really know what you really want in PvE.
I suck at thinking of ideas. Okay, but let me just point out that there are definitely some fixes that I would like to see, which is not new content. So like number one, I think that the main one is that Sentinel Hunt shouldn't be based on EX++. It should be based on the damage that you deal. That equates to a certain point. That would make it actually end game content, because then only the high tiered clubs can actually get more than 16 cheats right now, because now the cap is 16 cheats. You can't get 17 cheats. But if they change it to based on damage that you deal, then you can get more than 17 cheats, and it's no longer going to be a content that's based on like, oh, who gets the 16 cheats fastest on Monday. You know, that's the current state of Sentinel Hunt, which I think they can just do that and it will instantly become endgame, and yeah, everything will be fixed. But if I were to reintroduce a new content, I'm not sure what that content is going to be, but what I can say is that it needs to not be repetitive, which is not going to happen. All content in this game is going to be repetitive. But it shouldn't feel like a chore. And I don't think blitzing is the right way to go about it, because we talked about this, right? And blitzing is not a great approach in creating endgame content, because then it will just be like ritual farming. So it's really tricky. I'm thinking that that's why I'm saying that I do hope the anomaly is like end game PvE content, so that at least gives existing players some reason to feel like they need to log in, aside from just farming ritual miracles. Because in the early and mid game, there is a lot of growth. You're always constantly changing, you're always constantly upgrading something and feeling good about yourself. But you reach a point, like maybe 1 year into the game, right, where you just stop growing for like weeks, right? And that just kills the game. That just kills the game unless you're somehow super invested in the game. Yeah, so that's gonna be a problem. So wait, what?
What?
The hell is that?
What was that?
Hello, do you
Yeah,
guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
I mean, you couldn't hear my previous language, that's for sure.
Yeah. But now we can hear you.
Yeah, that one you couldn't hear. Okay.
Yeah, but
I mean, I've been trying everything else. Sorry about that, guys.
I feel like
Continue.
that. Yeah, the game definitely needs to not only just work on its PvP, but the PvE aspect as well, right? Like right now, things are just very auto, like everything's just like blitzed, which is nice if you are bored. Like most endgame players right now, we are freaking bored, right? We just blitz stuff because we don't bother running stuff manually anymore. So the new end, if there's gonna be like a new content, it always should not be blitzable. Or at least it must not be something that is just blitzable. You know, then like what the hell's the point? You just log in, you blitz, and then you log out. So like more things for you to blitz every single day. Yeah, so that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think For me, I do not know what kind of content specifically. Just something that we need to run manually, maybe.
I feel like Shade Mother will be this content because we already know it will be some sort of raid co-op mode, right? So this will not be blitzable at all. So we have to run it with 2 other people. And depending on what
It'll be manual though, 100%.
No, you cannot. I don't think it's manual. It will be auto.
Sorry. It'll be auto. It'll be full auto.
Yeah, it will be full auto, but it will not be blitzable.
Yeah,
or
it
do
won't
you
be visible.
or do you want PvE that's like you have to manual?
Wait. So you guys think? You think?
Yo, what's up?
DISLYTE Kovian. Bro, for the next podcast you need to be at home, man.
Did I hear that right?
Wait, what?
Oh
Hello?
no.
You lost him again.
Oh no.
How can be the connection so bad for just a Discord voice call?
No idea, man.
Okay, so where were we just till he's back? Let's hope he's back.
Shade Mother, right?
Shade Mother, yes.
I
Yeah.
think I'm just gonna leave
so,
the stream. My connection is completely.
Oh no.
I cannot hear him.
Yeah, I think he mentioned something about he's just gonna leave the stream. Sad. Very sad.
That's actually very sad.
No, it's okay. I mean, we're almost done. This
Yeah.
is like our last point anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Shade Mother, right? Yeah, you're
Mhm.
saying that it's gonna be auto content.
Yeah, it will be auto content. I mean, it's auto, so you have to auto it, but you cannot blitz it.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
do you think that Shade Mother will be like end game content? I know you're against the idea that PvE would be end game content, but
no,
I
it's
just feel like it's nice to know that there is always one thing right now that is like all the end game players are focusing on. Like for example, Desolate Lands, it was something that everyone was like focusing on at a point in time, right?
I think Shade Mother will be endgame content, and it's like very important for PvE and PvP players, both sides, depending on what they decide to put into Shade Mother. Like if they put in mythic grindstones, what you saw from pictures back then, you have to farm it.
Yep.
Because it doesn't change much in PvP, but it does make PvE easier. And if they introduce swap stones to replace substats, then it's a thing for everyone, and for PvE and PvP to just get your perfect relics. And then it's a super important content. Super important. You definitely want to do it like most of the time. Because like, I don't know if you ever checked your relics. If you ever like really deep dived into the depths of your relic storage and realized how bad or like how few actually good relics you have. Like I checked, for example, you know I'm a Chrono Slave. Right? And
You what?
I said I'm a Chrono Slave.
What Chronos?
Slave. Because
Yeah.
I'm farming Chronos 24/7. I looked at my relics. I do not have a single attack percentage headphone war relic with attack percentage, speed, crit rate, crit damage substat. Not a single one
okay.
after a year. So that's what I mean by like the relics we get are so bad. So swapping substats helps like everybody. Because I
It
don't
does
know.
end the game earlier, don't you think so?
No, it does not. Why would it end earlier? Why would
Because
it
you
end
are
earlier?
making it easier to get end game stats, right?
No, but you're trying to improve your relics. So you can improve your PvE teams because you're lacking that one substat to get that maybe that little bit of damage to reduce your run by a single turn, for example. You can do the same thing for PvP to get your speed tuning right, or that additional stat you were looking for. And you need more sets than just one. You need many, many more sets.
Yeah, I mean, Summoners War did that as well. They did it at the start, right? So
Yeah,
I guess
you got.
it helps. I mean, Summoners War is still.
They released the swap stones with the grindstones together. You got both at the exact same time. We only got the grindstones.
Yeah.
That's why. I'm saying that would be actually good to improve your relics because.
But I'm not so sure. Yeah. I'm not sure when they're gonna like bring this content out though. They did say that it's still on the pipeline.
Yeah. I mean, our highest chance might be Shade
I guess we
Mother.
just wait and see.
I mean, the highest chance would be Shade Mother. Then also what you have to think about what will be huge is we will still get a 4th Ritual Miracle though.
Yes.
And then maybe,
The dragon.
Yeah. And the sets what we get from that last one could be potentially be huge. Like that everybody starts farming this dungeon because of 1 or 2 specific sets. And you have to think out like this, what does a new relic mean for you? Like a whole new set mean? Everybody starts from 0. It's like with this specific set, you're 1 year, there's like a 1 year gap between your other relics. From the current perspective.
Yep.
Because you didn't have time to farm the specific set for a year, you just start at 0. And you have to work with what you get.
Yeah.
So it's not like
what's so. Sorry.
No, you wanted to say something. I didn't.
No, I'm just like, so what do you think is it like, what's the outcome gonna be like? Is it good or is it bad, or what's your suggestion about having a brand new bunch of sets that you're gonna be falling very far behind on?
No, you're not really falling behind because everybody for this specific set starts at 0, right? And there might be a set you really want to have or everybody wants to grind, right? But getting, for example, if we have like swap stones, for example, it would be cool with the new dungeon because you grind this new set, right? And you didn't farm it at all.
Okay.
And then you get relics and you're like, oh man, this relic isn't that great. But you know what? It doesn't matter. If I get good rolls, I can use it still because I can swap a different substat into it and I can make it usable.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. I think, yeah, that makes sense. So releasing Shade Mother with this swap, it does make sense to release the 4th Ritual Miracle, or at least like the 4th Ritual Miracle should come after the Shade Mother, right? Yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, and my point is with we saw that leak with these mythic grindstones, right? What's the point of mythic grindstones? I mean, if you think about it for a second, if they release mythic grindstones, which have a higher value than our standard legendaries, epics, right? What then is the point of farming fire, gale, or stream?
Wait, what? Wait, I think I lost you a little bit.
Oh, I said if we get mythic grindstones with higher values, right? For Shade Mother. What
Yeah.
then? What then is the point of farming fire, gale, and stream? Why would I farm epics or legendaries when I can get mythics? Like fire, gale, and stream would be dead.
Yeah, that's true.
And then everybody's in mother, and the other three don't matter at all anymore because you just want to have the mythics. And that would be counterintuitive as well, because then oh, now we got a new like thing to farm for, but now the other three like PvE contents are completely irrelevant now because you're just wasting your resources if you would farm the other three, right?
Yeah, that's weird. So what do you think about it? Like, I can't understand if they are still viable because of Everett farming. That might make sense, but then what is the purpose of these content?
Right. There's then literally no purpose.
That's true. What do you think?
There's literally no purpose and I feel like DISLYTE is a trend of grindstone farming. That's what it is, right? So Shade Mother actually being the one for the swap stones does make the most sense because mythic stones would just destroy the purpose of the other three instances.
Okay. Yeah, you make a lot of good points, by the way. Yeah, so Shade Mother is just for the swapping and the rest for like for the actual grinding, right?
Yes. Because then you can min-max your relics. And you need so many relics anyways, let's be honest. And especially, you know how much we love relic events. I feel like, I don't know, that's one of my top most like favorite events. Relic customizable
Which relic event?
The customizable
relic
that
events.
One. Which is great, right? You always try to get like a relic you don't have. In my opinion.
I prefer the one that we just had though, where grinding that ritual miracle gives us what's that? Like extra stamina and all that. I think that's great. I actually kind of like that a lot more.
Oh, you mean that with the Fafnir duel, Chronos duel, and so on and so forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine too. But I mean, just overall getting like your relic you're trying to look for since forever, maybe. That's a great one. And by having then swap stones, like for example, you're looking for a crit. You know how rare crit damage relics are when you farm Fafnir or whatever it is. Crit damage relics drop very, very rarely. And then once in a lifetime you get a crit damage relic, but how often do you get a crit damage relic with actually kind of decent substats? So then having Shade Mother helps the player because you're farming and you're like, dude, I don't get a relic I want. I'm farming for weeks and months. I cannot get one decent relic at all. And then finally you get one thing and then it has maybe shitty rolls or the substats aren't the greatest and you're like, oh man, now I have to farm again. And with Shade Mother, if she has swap stones, you're like, at least, okay, this relic now I can use at least because I know with Shade Mother I can replace this bad substat with actually something good and I can use it now for the future in whatever unit you want to use it.
Yeah, I guess that we kind of answered like what kind of PvE that this game needs, which is essentially just how they should handle Shade Mother and how that would relate to them releasing the 4th Ritual Miracle. Yeah. And I agree on everything. I think you made excellent points. Like I would not have actually thought about all of these. Like even how Shade Mother might make the rest of the other Desolate Land bosses irrelevant and how they can prevent it that way. So yeah, nice. That's a good amount of thought that you put into your point there. Yeah.
And one last thing I had, just an idea for you, because you want to have something funny with PvE, right? With like super endgame content or something. What do you think about like an event with some sort of like with this anomaly thing, with like world boss, right? Let's not talk about Izanagi, but in general, we have all to work together to get a new Esper. It could be a 4-star as well.
Wait, you mean like the two different choices that we had, for example?
Yeah, for example.
What exactly do you mean?
I mean, like, so we have this event where we farm points to get for example. And
yeah.
instead of like farming points all the time to get and Udai and Palmy and so on, like change it where we have to work PvE wise together to get that unit. Could also be interesting. Because then everybody, oh yeah, let's do this together, and then it would bring everyone together and figure, okay, yo, I suck at this world boss now. What team do I need to use for that? And everyone works together. Yeah, use this because that works the best, and this would just help everybody to kill that boss, so we can all get this new unit, for example.
That would be great, but that's coming from the assumption that the normies actually care about.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
that's just.
That would be optimal. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like ideas. Well, what would be great? What would make us hype?
Yeah, that works, dude.
Yeah. Something.
That would be super hype.
Yeah.
I hope this is what the anomaly is gonna be. Like, I hope this is what the anomaly is gonna be about.
Yeah. That would be actually great.
Yeah.
Like maybe Izanagi, we get Izanagi at the end of the first one. That could be a possibility. Like we have to down the boss together.
I'm thinking it's a high possibility. Yep.
Yeah. And then
That's
might be
basically what I think about it right now.
And then also good content for you. Free to play Anomaly team, so we can get Izanagi, like so we all can get him. Some shit like that. You have better names for that.
It's free content for everyone, bro.
Yeah.
Free content for everyone, even you.
Yeah, true. But that would be actually kind of good idea. I mean, what else do you want to have? I mean, I think at the end of the day, PvE content is based on the rewards you get from it. Right?
Yeah.
To a certain degree?
Yeah.
That's why we
I
left,
agree.
That's why we left Tempora Tower. It's not too difficult, it's not too easy, but at the end of the day we get gold records, shimmer records,
You get good shit,
crystal, yeah. That's what we like.
Yeah, you get a good stuff.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, not really. Well, we covered a lot of stuff today as well.
Yeah.
Everything that we need to talk about, actually.
I think so too.
Which is great. It's such a... It was a really fruitful session, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, tomorrow there will be the... what's that? Preview video, right?
Preview.
So... Currently we know that there's going to be 2 new Espers coming out. Izanagi and the brand new Esper that everyone's calling him MaTeIRiA right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, super hype. I'm just like right now. I'm just waiting for whatever that they're gonna announce. Super hyped about tomorrow and Tuesday as well.
I think they announce both tomorrow, I guess, right? Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Both.
actually, anything else wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense if they like both of them, Izanagi and the new one. I think I'm more hyped about the new one. Also, do you think they changed the multipliers?
Izanagi, what? Change multipliers? Oh, okay. If we are going by the whatever that we assume about them.
Yeah. Assuming
yeah,
it's
100%.
skill set.
The multipliers are definitely gonna change.
Yeah. Because that would be just busted.
Yeah, 100%.
That would be like.
Yeah, it's too insane.
Also, do you have a guess about the new unit? what this unit might,
No, not at all.
like the identity of the unit.
I wish I knew.
He has a hammer. Like 4.
Ah. You're talking about MaTeIRiA, right?
Yeah, yes.
No idea. I don't know what kind of type. People are saying that he's wind type. I'm not sure
Yeah,
actually,
he
but
wind fighter.
I have zero idea. Wind fighter.
Wind fighter.
Oh wow. I have no idea, to be honest.
Okay. So
I have no idea what his kit's gonna look like, but I'm very sure that it's gonna be linked to the current celestial anomaly. That's for sure.
oh, that could be potentially. You could be potentially be right about it. I have a guess, a wild guess, at least for his S3, that he does a single target defense ignore hit.
Like Biondina?
Yeah, I don't think.
Why though?
Why does Bio have a 100% defense ignore though? I don't think she has 100%.
Not 100%, but it's like. Oh, wait. It is 100%, but her multipliers are 90%. So it's not like insane, but it is 100% ignore, right?
I feel like that he has a 100% defense ignore, which just does like Hulk smash, boom, dead. That's just an assumption. I don't know. I might be completely off.
Wouldn't that be like power creeping? That'd be power creeping Biondina like.
No,
Easy.
because Bio is flow, and he's wind. And we have
Wait,
flood-
wait, hold on. Nikoni is sending me stuff.
Oh, he's
The
sending
new
me
Esper is really on my billboard, counting down for 3 days. Yeah, but I think he sent me for someone else who is not Prometheus. He's sending me someone else from the video that was showcased previously. I'll just send it over
Brutus?
to you.
the lion.
No, not the lion,
Oh.
but like it's in the chat. Or at least I'm still sending it. I'm not sure why it's taking forever, but
Oh, this guy.
yeah, that looks sick. Yep. Not sure whether you can show it on. I mean, you can show it on a stream, but yeah, you might have to. So if like people are wondering what the hell are we talking about, but this guy looks sick. Like I have no idea what the hell is this even.
Hey, yo, you know what he looks like? He actually reminds me of. I feel like this is Awakened Hall.
What?
He looks like an Awakened Hall.
He looks
to
like
me.
he transforms.
Yeah, a transformed Hall. But he looks like Hall plus, I don't know, he made a Dragon Ball fusion dance, and this is what happened afterwards.
Wait, if you look at his outfit, it looks kind of like what's been shown already from the upcoming Esper. Are there any similarities between this Esper and the upcoming Esper? He's saying that this Esper is similar in look to MaTeIRiA. I think he's referring to the shoulder pad, but I'm not sure whether is that a
Wait.
reasonable assumption.
Wait, let me check. So we have to go to... Is it this one here? The Incarnation Tower, right?
Yeah. I guess you can show it on stream, in case people are wondering what we're
Yeah.
looking at. By the way, Ethan
I'm
is so
not-
good in the Calamity Island.
I'm not seeing a shoulder pad, but do you think like maybe him here, which I'm showcasing in stream, Mateo, might transform into this guy?
I think this dude actually has he transformed between his left form and his right form, right? That's what I'm thinking based on this, whatever that we're looking at. So he transforms into a dog.
This could be that this guy has a transformation.
Yeah, he has a transformation.
I mean,
But I'm not sure whether this is going to be MaTeIRiA or not. It seems quite different.
yeah, so he has, if you look closely, there's like this purple bluish stuff, and then it's like purple turquoise. Something like that. But it's really hard.
Yeah, at this point it's quite difficult, I'll say, to draw the
You guys, you can look at it if you watch the Meet the DISLYTE. If you watch the Meet the DISLYTE, there are like they posted 3 pictures of units. Like this winged lady, that weird guy, and the lion. And the weird guy is what is on PTR, it seems like.
No. On PTR it's Prometheus. It's
You know
literally the second guy.
You know what? I just logged into PTR now. Real quick.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
can
easiest
log
way.
in on the on whatever they are using for your stream.
Yeah, I'm just logging it real quick right now. Let's see.
Dude, Ethan is so sick for
Oh.
the Calamity Island.
Look at this.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a stream lag, but
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're looking at.
There are
yeah.
chains and the shoulder pit. Oh.
Yeah, that shoulder thing, right?
Yeah.
But do you think they look alike?
I
I'm not sure if they.
think so too much, but if he transforms, who knows? Right? Maybe let's check gallery.
But then he will have to look like the guy on the left. But the guy on the left looks a bit too animalistic.
You know who he reminds me of? The MaTeIRiA guy. I just realized a little bit. I don't know why, but he reminds me of Cloud.
Red Shadow
from...
Legends.
No, he reminds me of Cloud
Red Shadow Legends.
from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, probably just the hair.
But we will see how actually good this guy is. But yeah, I think there's like so many assumptions we can make about this. But I think that's a topic for tomorrow. When we
Yeah.
see actually the preview. So I would say we end the podcast here. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think we discussed everything.
sounds
and
good.
also Kovian sadly had bad internet connections. So guys who joined the stream and
Great.
listened live to the podcast, thank you for watching. I will upload the podcast later on my channel as a VOD, so you can watch it as well if you tuned in very late. And yeah, that's it for this time. The next podcast will be on Kovian's channel in 3 weeks from now. Thanks for tuning in, and that is free to play. If you want to say something, you can as well.
No, I'm okay. I'll see everyone tomorrow.
Okay.
Super hyped. That's all.
Yeah, as always. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.